good to come your way once again. My name is Nana Yawedu, and you can call me Say Nana. Remember to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you can get all videos on time. In our previous lessons, we have looked at modeling linear equations, which is a revision question, where we have considered several approaches to solving that question. In this lesson, we want to consider the graphical approach to solving a revision question or modeling linear equation. So let's consider the question. So the question says that a local electronics store is selling a new smartphone model. The store manager has recorded the number of smartphones and the corresponding price. So we know that in week 1, they sold 800. It was priced at 800 Ghana cedi, but then they sold 30 of them. Week 2 was priced at 700 Ghana cedi, they sold 40. Week 3, 600 Ghana cedi, they sold 50. And week 4, 500 Ghana cedi, they sold 60. Now we have to construct a linear function to represent the relationship between the price and the number of smartphones. And then we predict the number of smartphones that will be sold if the price is reduced to 200 Ghana cedi. So in this case, we want to use the graphical approach. So we have our table which represents the number of weeks that we have sold these goods, right, for week 1, right, for week 2, for week 3, for week 4. And in week 1, the price is 800 cedi, the number of goods is 30. Week 2, 700, the number of goods is 40. Week 3, 600, the number of goods is 50. And then week 4, 500 cedi, the number of goods sold is 60. So we want to draw a graph using this, right, where we have the price being the x side and the number being the y side. So we'll pick our graph, and then we are going to construct a graph, right, where we have a horizontal line, right. So they are all positive values. So we want to probably have our horizontal line here. Because they are positive values, we don't need any negative values. So remember, we have our horizontal line, right? So we have our line here, right? And then we will have our vertical line and horizontal line, right? So we'll draw one here, right? Okay. Yeah, so now we need to have y side, right? In this case, the y side represents the number, right? So the number n, which represents the number of phones sold, right? And then the x side will represent the price in Ghana cedi. So we are going to have the price will move from 200 to 400 to 600 to 800 to 1000. Okay, this looks smaller, so let's probably use 100 so that we would have it looking quite nicer. You've not been given any specific sale, so you want to use 100. So you are going to have 100, 200, 300, and the like. So we have 100 here. We have 200, we have 300, we have 400, we have 500, 600, right, 700, and then we also have 800, right? I think the highest price is 800. And the number, we can have 10, and then we have 20, we have 30, we would have 40, we would have 50, we would have 60, then we will have 70. Now we are going to plot a pair of points, 830. So we have 800 here, right, and 30, which is here. So that should be somewhere here, 830. So the next one is 740. So 700 goes with 40. So 700 here and 40 here, right? And then we can have our 600, which goes with 50, right? So 600 here, 50 here, right? So you must carefully plot them so that you don't put them at the wrong place. And then we have 500 and 60. So 500 here and 60 here, right? So 560. So I think that should be here rather. So 500 here and 60 here. So we'll use a line, right, to draw through the linear graph so that we can have a straight line through it, right? So we want to use our black, draw a line through it. So in this case, we have represented the linear function, right? We've represented the linear function as this, and we know this is the linear function, right? For let's say n of p, right? So let's extend this side to have our 80, right? And then we could also have, right, so let me use the black. So we have 80 here, right? So shift it a little bit so that I can have my 90. So I have my 90 here. That's fine. So 90 here, right? So you are asked to be able to find the number of goods that will be sold when the price is at 200. So you are going to trace from the 200 here, right? So we have our 200, right? So let me move this so that I will have the graph alone. So when the price is at 200, we want to trace from the price at 200, right? So we pick our ruler. I think that is 200, right? So 200 is here. So we'll put a line through 200 here. Let's use a short dash line, right? Okay, so very good. So it means that we can extend our graph, right? So we can extend our graph here such that we'll have the graph touching the point or the 200, right? So we can have the graph touching it. So we can extend the graph here, right? Very good. So we'll be able to trace from where the 200 is on the graph onto the number of phones, right? So when we trace it using the ruler, we could see that it traces to the 90, right? It traces to the 90. So graphically, we can see the trace to the 90. And that implies that it means that when you sell the good at 200 cedi, the price of the good at 200 cedi, then you're able to sell 90 phones, right? So graphically, we've been able to indicate that 90, right? So therefore, at 200 Ghana cedis, right, 90 phones will be sold. And in this case, we use the graphical approach to be able to determine that. So with the graphical approach, we are able to draw the graph of the function, and then based on the graph of the function, we are able to determine, right, the number of phones that are being sold, right, when the price of the good is reduced to 200 Ghana cedi. In our next lesson, we want to consider how we can graph the solutions of inequalities. Remember to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you in the next lesson.